Before time began.
Yeah, dude, that movie was nuts, man. I can't believe you didn't like it. That was a great movie. Dude, 2006 brand new Camaro. When he scanned it, became that from the piece of crap. Dude, that was awesome, man. Come on, tell me you didn't like it.
There were flames on Optimus.
They were cool flames.
Yeah, they were flames.
It was cool. It was good.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, I'll be ready.
All right.
It was crazy, man. That was even better than the first one, dude. Dude, come on. Robo's nuts, man. Ding, 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 ding.
Robot Heaven! There's...
How did you not like that? I mean, come on, seriously? The twins?
I'll be in the car.
I'll be right back. Best movie ever in the world. Titanic, Shawshank Redemption, and hell no, Candle, this is the best movie.
Let's go.
What?
Are you... I gotta go.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Man, you know what? Before I forget, I'll be right back.
Where do you keep going?
Now anyone can watch and shoot video. Cut, guys. We're not making effective use of the technology. I think I can help. You stand over there from Daddy.
Here you go, son.
All right, thank you.
Enjoy.
What?
That was 3D gold.
I checked my brain out the door. You didn't?
Let's make...
So, well, Transformers 3,
Hey everybody,
Dark of the Moon.
I'm back. You know me. And this is Frank. We both have seen Dark of the Moon.
Dark of the Moon.
And this is going to be our thoughts on it. What do you think?
I thought it was entertaining. I didn't go in there with any preconceived notions that it was going to be, you know, the big blockbuster that they, you know, or every movie they come out with. The trailers are so fantastic and wow, boom, ah, Michael Bay explosions. No, it was a good movie. It had a whole lot of what the fuck moments in it, like a lot of these movies do, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, I remember I told a lot of people when I saw the trailer, I was like, I hate to admit it, but it looks pretty cool.
See, and it was. For the most part, it was. It was damn entertaining. It had a bunch of cool moments. It had a lot of, like, really afterthought, you know. Some of the main characters, we'll hit on them. You know, Megatron, you know. Oh, don't get me started.
Kinda in the movie.
Yeah. Starscream and whatnot, and, you know, the bots, the Deceptibots being... I call the all the mini bots, all the little refugees, you know, you know, the I call him the Steve Buscemi bot, the little Bigfoot, you know, RC car. It sounds like Buscemi. I'm not too sure. We could have done our homework
The
and
other
found out.
Beavis or Butthead, whichever
Beavis
one
and
it was.
Butthead, basically. Yeah.
We're intelligent.
Yeah. Oh, you gonna pull out a gun? You
Yeah.
know, great. And then not only that, you know, those two, you know, were shacking up with Sam and Duckface.
Surprise Duckface.
Quack, quack.
Oh, my little ducky.
I mean, I know I got a big schnoz, but don't get me wrong, that girl was not. Comes to mind,
Butterface?
Butterface. She was to Transformers as Kirsten Dunst is to Spider-Man.
She didn't have a snaggletooth.
No, she didn't have a very harsh teeth.
No.
Kiss me, you big spider son of a bitch.
She's better than Kristen Stewart of Twilight.
Yeah.
And basic plot,
Holes.
but
Sam
really
was in the movie called Holes. That's what was in this movie
Yeah,
also.
and it had
Hi-oh.
even Stevens was in it too. So
Yeah.
there you go.
There you go.
I mean, Transformers find Red Robot. Red Robot comes to life. Red Robot turns bad.
Which they needed the Autobots to activate
Red Robot.
Nimoy Prime,
Yeah.
you know. And he was the only one that could activate the light bridge, but there at the end, Sam was beating up Can't Buy Me Love dude's ass, and he reaches over, starts it up, you know. What do you do?
There's a lot of things that they forced down your throat to make you think it was so important, and then it's like they forgot about it while making this movie, and they're like, oh yeah, let him do this, let him do that. I thought they could only do what's that?
And what was sad is I got up during the movie 3 times to take a leak because I cherry coke. There we go. And I ran back and forth each time. I mean, it's just I didn't want to miss any of it. But
The movie had
I
so
could've.
much padding in it that you could get up and go,
you could.
even in the action scenes. A lot of you might see in the trailer the big worm wrapping around the building, and it looked awesome in the trailers, but really they could have cut that scene out and it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was awesome. Another guy who does reviews that I watch, he put it best. If you show up 90 minutes late, the movie is awesome. It's that load of crap you got to put
There's
up with.
so much filler. Deep Wayne, I thought was hilarious.
A lot of people
John
complain about
Malkovich
him,
was,
but
you know,
yeah, there's been a lot of complaints about these characters. The Deep Wayne character, people complain about, but yeah, he was funny. I just didn't understand why he was acting the way he was.
yeah, he was a schizoid, you know. Maybe he was paranoid that Vulturebot was going to come and ream his ass, which ultimately happened, but...
Or suicide you.
But what else? Megatron. You know, we'll hit on these. We're just giving, you know, some highlights, some not so highlights.
Yeah.
But Megatron was such an afterthought in this movie. It was,
Yeah, he has like 3 lines in the whole movie,
yeah.
and he's the main villain.
Starscream, you suck. There it is right there. I had it out here. Of the buildings falling down, you know, people have mentioned, you know, like, oh, 9/11, you know, it's bad. It's bad. I'm not making fun of anybody here, but I mean, every time a building falls, 9/11. Okay, great, I get it. The shuttle blowing up, you know, that was the Challenger, and
Right.
that's an honorable mention. That's kind of tasteless, but yeah, it was a spaceship blowing up. I mean, you're never gonna watch a spaceship blowing up and not think the Challenger. Walking up and putting a sawed-off shoddy to Abe Lincoln's memorial and blowing that up and then sitting on his crumbled remains, and that little garbage pail kid licking his head is not cool.
Yeah, that was one part that
You
I
know,
found offensive. I mean, in any other more thought out, well scripted disaster movie, not just disaster movie, I mean, something like that could really affect you emotionally. But this is a Michael Bay popcorn film where you're not just having fun, and then that's just disrespectful.
Cloverfield chopped off the Statue of Liberty's head, threw it down Broadway.
It came from France. It's okay.
There you go.
But
something to do with the Masons or something like that.
Thing's all corroded anyway. But
Sam Witwicky being set up.
Shia LaDouche.
Yeah. Sam Big Dicky apparently,
playing the smallest violin in the world throughout most of this movie.
He crying like a little bitch. He wants to be somebody important,
I mean, he's got... he complains so much in the first 2 minutes that you see him.
Anakin Skywalker. Just a spoiled little teenage
he's
brat.
Almost that bad, yeah. He's almost...
the chosen one. Those spoiled...
But he's in his 2-story apartment. Graduated from Ivy League school, and he's got this Victoria's Secret supermodel
that he treats like shit.
Yeah,
and she's all about it. That was true. That was true life right there.
She's all on top of him, straddling him, half naked, and he's all.
I need a job.
My life sucks. I should be doing this. I shouldn't be this. I should be this. I'm just like, oh, I feel for you. Yeah, I wouldn't want your life at all.
Yeah.
God.
And what do you do?
His biggest bragging moment, I got a medal from Obama.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what else?
I got a tax refund.
There was it was a genuinely entertaining movie.
This is the best of the Transformers movies.
There's a cartoon about it. There's a line of toys that came out way back in the day. Really cool toys, really cool. And they could have matched it up a little bit better to the cartoon and whatnot. It wasn't like Superman, where there's a great big comic book and there's like, they're not true to Superman, or like Lex Luthor, or Zod.
Yeah,
there's no...
The series in the 80s was based on a line of toys. There was no story with it.
Yeah, it was just good times. I mean, so you can't go in there just thinking like, oh, well, this isn't the Transformers I grew up with. It toys.
I mean, yeah, you can say it's comparable to a Care Bears movie. I mean, it's based on toys. But it
wasn't like they just screwed up X-Men, which, it didn't, they have, but it wasn't, one of those great, like, we all grew up, it was a line of toys. It's a movie. They can kind of make up whatever they want. There's a little bit storyline to the cartoon, whatnot. I'm just saying, it was an entertaining movie. You didn't have to go, my biggest thing is, and I probably learned it from you, check your brain at the door. And, take it out, leave it at the front, make sure you get the ticket so you get the right one back. Yeah. And don't go in there, have a good time.
With Transformers, when I was little, started about when I was like 5 or 6 when the series came out. I watched it every afternoon. That was my favorite thing. I loved it. I'm a fanboy.
Yeah.
And I had waited my whole life almost for this movie to come out. They did come out with the movie in '86, which is way superior to all of these combined.
I need to see that because I haven't seen it. Yeah.
On the next review. But yeah, that movie was way more... It had Orson Welles in it. He was the main villain in the movie besides Megatron. And then 20 years later, they made the first Transformers movie, which most of us were all excited about it. I forgave it for its shortcomings, and I liked it.
It was a good movie.
Yes. There was a lot of stuff I would have done different. Second one comes out. Robot Heaven! Dick cheese. There is no robot heaven.
There's a robot hell.
Gentlemen,
not all robots go to heaven.
Well, apparently, robots decompose, as we see in this one with Megatron. His head is half blown off from the end of the second.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about Megatron. Let's get the party started. Megatron can get fixed, as you know, which is no big surprise because Bumblebee's voice box has been fucked up. I mean, the doctors can't do anything with it. I get it. Maybe his HMO's off. You know, he can't get his shit fixed. It was fixed for a minute, but then now he's got to resort back to tidbits of information from XM satellite radio.
Right.
Megatron. First of all, the great fucking Megatron shows up looking like the Poacher Mobile from the Rescuers Down Under.
That's where it's from, yes.
They ripped that movie. I don't know if Michael Bay did that movie. Maybe he was a part of it. Maybe it was a
No, that movie was good.
That was a great movie. But he shows up, this fucking Poacher Mobile from Rescuers Down Under, looking for the great Barahootie, and all these animals are looking at each other. He doesn't even take a pop shot with his sawed-off shotgun, which is his ultimate weapon, and he's got a fucking cape and chains, and he's got half his
He pulls it off.
He pulls it off, and he's got fucking robo lice.
Yeah.
You know, he's saying boink boink boink, Starscream up, boink boink. Hold on, wait a minute, boink boink. This motherfucker's biting me all day long. You know what the fuck is that shit? You know.
Now he was in Africa, so the truck made sense there. And maybe the lice were supposed to be like flies on the African kids' eyeballs where they don't
There
blink.
you go, blink, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But I mean, with when he showed up and he was this great big thing, and then you said and you were exactly right. When he shows up in Chicago and he's still this piece of shit Poacher Mobile.
Yeah. Why? I mean, in the first two movies, he was this awesome
ass jet. Maybe he was the part of his brain that was missing just can't.
Well,
you know.
how could he scan a truck and become the truck? I'm like, how'd he get from Africa to Chicago? He had to get on a ship or something. Scan the big old boat and just transform it to a tanker. Roll up in there and transform. You know,
he should have woke up out of truck mobile, and whatever the you want to call it, and transformed into a dude wearing a big hat, a big Bowie knife, yelling at one of the little robots, "Stay away from my chicken eggs! I want to kill the great Barahootie." You know, that was some bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
I'll bleep some of them out.
Thank you. But I mean, holy crap! I mean, seriously, Megatron.
Yeah, this is Megatron. Okay.
Yeah. So he was and then he gets tricked by the ugly duck face girl at the end. You know.
Oh, my lovely ducky.
Yeah. And he's sitting there. He's just like, I can't do anything. I don't feel good.
This guy's pretty.
This itch is so bad. And
she crawls up on him.
She crawls up. You come to beg for forgiveness or surrender or whatever the fuck you came to do. And
jeez.
Nimoy Prime is going to take over the world and he's going to squash you like those little headlights you got. I'm going to go do something about that. Wait here. He didn't even, kicked her off the little post that she was standing on.
Yeah.
Megatron. You will be missed.
Yeah, he don't have much to do in this movie.
No.
And they focus so much on he's the big planner of all this evil.
He was an afterthought. It just, who was the main character of this movie?
Sam Witwicky.
Was he really?
He was in most of it during the whole battle scene. Most of it, you're following him, chasing his girlfriend around, trying to save her.
The rabbit and all that rabbit foot stuff, that was romantic. I dug that.
Yeah, and his parents talking about his big schlong.
Yeah, the retard parents, I'm not even getting... They fit the role. I mean, there's the slapstick, they talk about going from action to slapstick to action. There's no really... The parents fit. I mean, they played their role. The mom was definitely annoying in the second one, and they did all right. I mean, they laugh. You sit there and talk about, well, how do you keep getting all these beautiful women? And you must have a really okay, mom. It was funny. It was entertaining. I mean,
yeah. I think my hands went up in the air. Not counting the rape of the Wrath of Khan. Which
we'll talk about that.
We'll get to that. There's my day job is I'm an IT manager. I work with computers, and there's this scene in the building where he's being chased by the big Razorbeak, whatever his name is, through the building. Sam is, and all of a sudden he's in the server room running through servers. Me, the realistic geek, I was just like, "You can't get in there.
The door should be locked.
They're locked.
You need a password."
Swipey.
He just ran through the door like it was like no. I don't even think it was. It was one of those.
It was just open,
swinging doors in and out. You know.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm an IT manager. It bothered me. I mean, most people, they're like, "What were those things? They look like big refrigerators with lights." I was like, "Those are server racks. They're HP servers and Dell racks."
Deep Wayne. A lot of people didn't like Deep Wayne.
We had a sick night.
I thought that dude was hilarious. I don't know the dude's name. You know the actor's name?
I know it, but I can't think of it.
Didn't do a whole lot of homework, but you know who we're talking about.
Yeah, the Hangover guy, the small, big bush.
the king from Role Models.
Yeah,
that's my favorite role of his. He was funny in this movie. He didn't really have a whole lot of sense of why he was so whacked out. Maybe he was panicked because the bots were going to kill him and he was in danger, but he had to warn Sam for
he
robot
was like
menace.
He was working for the Decepticons, but yet he was trying to warn
And he had
Sam.
He had all this information as if he was there back in '61 when they discovered.
I'm like, that guy's about as old as me.
He's not that old. It was maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Like I said, I checked my brain at the door, but my favorite part of the movie was when the dude was standing there with his little folder, and Deep Wayne walks up behind him, pow, knocks his stuff out. He's like, "Hey, what the hell is wrong with you?"
Yeah, the guy came up behind him and he was talking to him about something. And Deep Wayne was just like, "Smash!"
Yeah, take that, sucker. That was hilarious. And then the dude wouldn't let it go. It's like, "I'm still mad at you for knocking my stuff.
I demand respect.
You drink your exotic milk all you want. I'm gonna kick your ass." You know.
I mean, his real name wasn't Deep. It was Jimmy. But he goes by Deep Wang, and he was referring to Deep Throat, so he calls himself Deep Wang. And what was funny is the name of the movie is Dark of the Moon. Blatant ripoff of Pink Floyd. Dark Side of the Moon. And
why they didn't just call it the Dark Side of the Moon? Dark of the Moon doesn't even make sense, really. It's just
because they were afraid Pink Floyd would sue them. But Deep Wang makes a reference when he's straddling Shia right there on the toilet.
Oh yeah.
He's crotching his face, and he's all like, the dark side of the moon, just like Pink.
Yeah.
I was all like,
read between the lines, man. It's in the title of the movie.
Yeah, just for.
So, let's talk about the plot of the movie. Being that I literally checked my brain at the door, and I don't know if it's out there, but we'd love to be the ones to sit here and say, coin the phrase, check your brain at the door. I need a quick person.
Don't forget to pick it up before you leave.
Yes.
You needed to drive home.
This is how bad I checked my brain at the door. I spiked it like I won I caught the winning touchdown at the Super Bowl. I mean, there's bruise in the frontal lobe. I swear to God.
You went full retard, man.
Maybe I'm just stupid. That's a big possibility.
Never go full retard.
What was the plot of the movie? It was so many plot holes I couldn't keep up. Why did they have to have the guy that the bots go up there and get Nimoy Prime?
The movie starts out with a really well done scene where they integrate the whole American history of the moon landing with Apollo 11 with the discovery of the first Transformers, kept secret by our government. There was a crash on the moon by a Autobot ship. We detected it, and it became a race with the Russians to get a man on the moon first to find out what it was.
Okay.
And they did really well with it. And I will point out, though, that after this great, well-done scene, the transition from the Apollo moon landing, discovery of alien life, to full screen
Us!
a nice one, following her up the stairs, around to Shia LaDouche, straddling him, and then him going, you don't have a job.
I hate my life.
Get
off me, you
No, I don't need money from lunch from you. I got the money you gave me yesterday for lunch. No.
Wow.
That was what it cut to. And I was just like, huh? And then the first mobile Transformers you see is the Beavis and the Steve Buscemi.
the Buscemi bot. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really him. It looks like him. Damn sure doesn't look like him.
It's the one that was humping Megan Fox's leg in the second one.
There you
He's
go.
back.
Yeah.
And then they got this other one with this weird fiber optic
Fiber
hair
optic,
that sounds
you know.
like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Is it Beavis that does a
Yeah, that's Beavis.
Cornelio?
Yeah.
I kept waiting for him
The
to say that.
Cornholio bot, you know?
Yeah.
But from the whole great beginning to the booty and the crying and the whole part of the movie was just, I mean, why they needed Optimus Prime to start Nimoy Prime so that he could start
there's
things that they already have, but Starscream could already go to space and shoot down a shuttle. Why
But
couldn't
you found
he
out
go?
from the ending credits of the first movie when he's flying into space, and they meet up on the moon at Saturn, where they have the baby hive and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
with the Fallen, so they could go to space already. So
why did they not just go pick up? I mean, did they need to deceive the?
And the Autobots,
Autobots
have a hybrid space shuttle mixed with. Okay, it's a ship. It's called the Zeist or something, and they merged it with a shuttle,
So they could
shuttle,
launch off.
so they
the
could
planet.
go into space. But yet, like I said, in the second one, the Decepticons could fly to Saturn.
Why didn't they just go up there and get the?
Yeah, so
they didn't need.
Back to the plot. Yeah, there's the crash ship, and there is Nimoy Prime. He's actually called
Sentient Prime.
Yeah, something like that.
Sentinel Prime.
Sentinel Prime. It's voiced by Leonard Nimoy. So he's on the ship, and they have these items called the pillars, and it's a transportation device.
For the light, the infamous light bridge.
Yeah, which allowed refugees to travel and ships to travel, and as the government's afraid of, soldiers to travel to Earth and take over. And so they bring back Nimoy Prime to Earth. They resurrect him with the...
Did they really do that? I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, Optimus pulls it out of his chest and walks over to him and brings him back.
So that puts a little piece of the puzzle in for me.
Yeah,
so I didn't realize that. So they did need Prime to prime the Prime for the primer of the movie.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, they bring back Central Prime, and the Decepticons, they want the pillars, but apparently they've already gotten hundreds of the pillars. There's only 5 left.
Why?
And
But the 5 were inside with him, weren't they?
Right, but
Yeah, there you go.
they explain later on that they have satellite photos from the Russians, and it shows that all these pillars have been drugged from the ship and just left out on the moon. So it's like, why did they have to? Why did they leave the 5, and what?
The 5 were stuck in there, but why didn't they just press the button that Optimus Prime did, he didn't have to take out the little shiny.
Yeah, there was no key
makeup.
to it.
There was no reason for that.
This plot makes no sense to me the way we're explaining it. Just as little sense as it probably makes to us who have seen it.
You sit there and watch it, and we just got.
And we watched it twice.
Oh my goodness!
But the only key plot point that they needed was that Optimus Prime had the little knife thingy from the second movie that brought him back to life. That they needed to bring back Central Prime. That was the only plot point to that. All the rest of it was already taken care of, and it just
goes from there. They needed to Decepticon the Autobots so they could go bot to the moon and bring back the Nimoy bot to
Red Robot.
And that's another thing he said, and I didn't realize it too, but when they went, when you go to Earth from Cybertron and you're just a naked, crazy looking robot, little muscle fibrous looking robot, and you have to see something and scan it. You have to see a Volkswagen to become a
robots in disguise. They disguise themselves into their environment.
There you go. When they found Nimoy bot, and I didn't realize this till you said so, he was already the transformed rescue mobile fucking...
Yeah, a big rescue truck.
The big truck that goes out onto the tarmac when a plane crashes and sprays down. Yeah, that's what he looked like. He's just a big...
when they found him, he had the wheels, he had the windshield,
he already had all that.
I'm like...
He crashed back in
1961.
61.
Yeah. And they tie in so many historical science fiction things, like the Roswell incident. There was pieces from the ship that hit the Earth, and Chernobyl is brought into this because apparently the Russians never landed a man on the moon, but they sent probes up there.
Let's count real quick. Apollo 13. Rescue was Down Under. You just hit on it just a little while ago. That's what made me talk about this. The Michael Bay, The Island, which I love that movie. The cars, it's cool. The cars that were being crashed on the highway chase scene were the same exact scenes from The Island, which is really cool.
They were kicking off trains out of the island and put them in Transformers 3.
Yeah. You've got, of course, ultimately the Wrath of Khan,
which we haven't got to yet.
Several, mentions of Star Trek in this movie. But you have so many different movie
references. They want you to know that Leonard Nimoy is the actor.
And what's sad, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. I checked my brain at the door so hard. The first time I watched it, I took my nieces and my sister, and we all sat there and watched it. We were fighting over popcorn, as we always do. And I had no idea. I swear to God, I had no idea. Until I came over the next day, or so, a couple days after, and told you I watched this movie. I did not know that was Leonard Nimoy's voice in the movie. That's how bad I went in there. Just entertain me. I know how to breathe and eat popcorn and drink cherry Coke. That's all I know how to do. Entertain me. And I had no idea. And I even, when he said the needs of the few outweigh the many. I recognized that from somewhere, but I didn't. Yeah, I saw Wrath of Khan when I was like a fetus. That's how long it's been since I've seen that movie.
They raped it.
Up the butt.
They had someone holding its forearms, someone else grabbing the cheeks, spreading apart, and then Michael Bay in his deep wing raped the Wrath of Khan.
And
because they got Leonard Nimoy, who plays Spock.
What do you do?
To say the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Which is the line famous by the Wrath of Khan.
And the plot of the movie. Holy crap. They were going to enslave human for manpower, and they made a reference to wanting to take Earth's resources, water, metal, gold, lithium-ion batteries, I'm guessing. The Duracell supply from the factory that we have out there in Lake Michigan, wherever the hell it's at.
They said the one resource that this planet has that billions of others don't have is 6 billion humans.
Yes. Now,
Matrix.
Oh man! So when they do light the light bridge and bring the planet of Cybertron,
they transport Cybertron.
It's a speck of dirt compared to this big, humongous
Earth is
geographic.
this big. Cybertron.
It's huge.
Earth,
What in
Cybertron.
the world could they possibly need from this little pebble that's gonna revive?
These minute human beings.
It'd be like, were they gonna do some renovations, put some sheetrock up or something? Or were they gonna have the?
It'd be like me getting all the cats in the neighborhood to help me paint my living room. You know?
There's no. I didn't get it. I just did not get it. I mean, were they gonna have all the leftover robots from the other planet come live on ours, or were they gonna? So, I mean,
the whole Cybertron thing. Didn't it blow up in the first one?
Did it?
They said their home world was destroyed, didn't they?
Or was in the process?
They had a war and they had to escape Cybertron because their planet was destroyed or something. It don't matter. It wouldn't matter if it did get destroyed. It's back.
It's back.
And when they're transporting it, it looked like it was in good condition to me. Until they stopped the transport, and then you're like, oh, crap.
There was only half of it. How was there? Big fat WTF to the...
Okay, back to the plot. We keep getting off this because we're like, this is a good Transformers movie compared to the other ones.
It's an entertaining movie.
Hate it, but it's...
There's a lot of WTF and FML. Why did I waste my money? 2 hours and
39 minutes
of 3D bullcrap.
This movie could have been an hour and a half long and been awesome. I like long movies. I think long movies are great because they develop a whole lot better, but not a Michael Bay movie.
No. Explosions.
Michael Bay presents Explosions! Explosions from Michael Bay! Boom! Michael Bay explosions! Boom!
I mean,
he directed a Victoria's Secret commercial with explosions. Who can do that? Michael Bay.
Snap. I mean, good times.
Now I'm gonna get back to the plot because we keep getting off.
What is the plot of the movie?
There is no plot. That's why I'm not worried about spoiling it. I'm gonna talk about this whole movie all the way through. And if you're worried about spoilers, have you seen the second one or the first one? It's the same movie.
It's the same movie.
I mean, but I mean, we got into the part where they revived Nimoy Prime.
Nimoy Prime.
Pretty much after
he comes
that,
back and he turns into a bad guy. He gets his 5 little light bridge suppositories
you pretty
back.
much see that he's gonna be the bad guy.
Yeah.
I mean, right before that, I mean, there's this scene. Okay, Megatron in Africa, right? That whole scene. Later on, Prime, Red Robot and Blue Robot.
Yeah.
They go for a little lover stroll to go talk. They're in Africa suddenly from DC. I swear they don't say it's Africa, but the trees, the mountains, the environment.
Everything says Africa.
Why did they have to?
I think there was like a mic boom coming down, and then Megatron was back there sipping on a coffee, and he looks up at the camera. Oh shit! And then runs out of the scene, and they're sitting there talking about What did...
They came out there just so that Optimus Prime could get down on one knee like he's proposing with the little Allspark. It's not the Allspark. It's whatever brings him back to life. The little boomerang thing.
The Ninja Star.
Yeah. And he gets down on one knee and presents it to him like he's proposing to him.
Says, you should be our leader.
He's like, no, I'm no longer the leader. You are. It's like, you are my teacher. No, you are the teacher. And
the student becomes the master.
Nimoy, he's gonna
now let's go wax
become the
off.
bad guy. Why didn't he just take it though?
Yeah.
Might come in handy if some of your guys die.
Yeah, Zap, come back.
Say you get shot a few times, it'd be like a little.
Yeah, a little
Pulp Fiction.
Little robo morphine, you know. But he doesn't take it, and whatever. You know, he had a chance to kill Optimus when he first gets, you know, the bad bots to come back from the moon, which they've been there the whole time. And
how did they get there?
They snuck in on the dark of the moon.
They barked at the moon and they showed up.
That's.
I mean, you see it in the trailer, all the Decepticons rising up out of the moon dust and everything.
There's a whole lot of non-explanation.
Ships are there.
They're not explaining this movie very well.
No, they don't. It's fun to look at. It's fun to watch, but trying to figure out why is something else.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, it's just.
There are those sci-fi movies that are fun to look at and you don't think, and then there are sci-fi movies that are fun to look at and they challenge you a little bit, like District 9, Sunshine, the reboot of Star Trek. Those are well thought out. But
this is just an action movie that has explosions and it has crybabies and
has booty on the screen.
It should definitely have a lot more robots in it. You kind of miss out on that. The big worm and Shockwave and Soundwave and Razorbeak and
yeah. See, Shockwave, he was the coolest of the Decepticons this time.
I mean,
he was awesome. He has one line, and all it is Prime. That's it. That's all he says in the movie.
I did not realize it till you said it, but Optimus Prime's first line in the movie is when he's battling Shockwave at Chernobyl.
First time he speaks. First time he transforms into Prime from his
It wasn't
truck.
that cool. I'm gonna whoop your ass. You know, it was. I swear to God.
That's what it was. It was like he was gargling and puking and taking a dump at the same time. Prime is chasing Shockwave's worm. And all of a sudden he gets knocked over and he starts transforming.
And he did it again.
Like, what?
He sat there and fought him a little bit, and then he got kicked or whatever. You know, of course, the first thing you notice about Optimus Prime is he's got his trailer in tow.
Finally.
And it's sweet. It turns into this big, like, Stargate, and he comes in and grabs the stuff.
His weapons are lined with it.
Yeah,
it's. I can understand getting hit and go, oh, or something like that, but no, he's a.
I need a lozenge.
Anybody got a Mentos?
Man.
I shouldn't have drank last night. Diesel's a killer.
And I mean, you go through the whole spiel of the movie, and you've got to put up with Sam trying to get a job.
And they have montages of him trying to get a job, and then once he gets a job, he works in the mailroom. We got a montage of him working in the mailroom.
Yeah. Do we really need that in this movie?
Well, it's like an 80s Michael J. Fox movie. I'm not talking Back to the Future. That's good. I'm talking... What? The Secret of My Success. That's what I'm thinking about. That's what Sam Witwicky was. He was Michael J. Fox in The Secret of My Success.
He gets his job, and he's working with John Malkovich.
Who is kind of entertaining. He's a big ham in the movie.
He's a dumbass, and, you know...
I love his tan.
Oh, man, the leather couch tan. That's awesome, with the bad hair.
But you notice that, I mean, he's such a ham in the movie, which is great. John Malkovich can ham it up like the best of them. But once John Turturro, who's been the previous ham of the Transformers movies, shows up, they get rid of Malkovich.
They're in the same room, you know. They're in the same room at one point.
That one, but he's all getting tickled by Bumblebee.
Yeah, he's supposed
That
to be
was
this.
too much, Ham. I'm sorry. I'm skipping out things.
He was masturbating, meeting this robot and wanting to fight him, and I love Bumblebee in this movie because not only is he just this,
Bumblebee.
He's got bad HMO. He's got to get on Medicare or something, Medicaid, whatever you want to call it. He needs a better. They can't fix his voice box,
He needs iTunes with a playlist.
Yeah, he does, man. Yeah, I think he needs to get some Wu-Tang Clan downloaded, and he'd be a badass because he's all about the Shaolin Kung Fu. Bumblebee kicks ass in this movie. John Malkovich wants to fight him. But my favorite part of Bumblebee is, is the...
Yeah, he does.
Thank you.
First time he's
Thank
meets
you
up
for
with
the
Sam, he's all like...
Yeah, like, you want some, John? Malkovich, I got... Man.
Oh, yeah.
Man, break out the cannon. And John is just sitting there wanting to do... Yeah, he's sitting there like he's made a best friend.
It's like my best date ever. I'm gonna go home and whack to this. So anyway, yeah, John Turturro's back in it, but at least we don't see him in a jockstrap. Let's talk about what we didn't like.
Do we have enough time, James? There wasn't a whole lot of stuff I didn't like, other than, the plot holes, and really, I mean, the guys jumped out of a plane and ended up, and they were trying to cross the moat. Apparently, Chicago has a moat around it.
It's got the river, yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
You didn't like the guys jumping out of the plane?
I thought that was cool.
It was pointless.
It was very pointless.
Yeah, I mean, they could have... It looked cool, though. I mean, it was... I think Michael Bay saw extreme sports video or something, and he's like, I'm putting that in my movie.
Now when they went through the broken building, and the dude was
that was cool,
the flying squirrel suits, and then he tightened up and went through, and the one dude didn't make it. He's like, oh, no. Boom, sucker.
Yeah.
Semper Fi, they're Marine.
What's funny is it looked like what 6, 7 of them made it. All the rest of them got charred.
Yeah.
But once they're all on the ground, there's 20 of them.
Yeah.
Where'd they come from?
And And
when they're on the ground, the Navy SEALs show up out of the river.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why didn't you just go that way?
Why? What were you?
They all made it.
They were a distraction, is what it was. We're gonna fly these guys in, and when they're shooting them down, we're gonna,
we're gonna come out of the murky.
We're gonna jump in our frog suits and come out unscathed. Stuff like that was bad. I mean, what else was there? My favorite part was when they wrecked Optimus Prime's trailer. His Stargate, weapons,
that's
cache.
He's very adamant about how he needs his trailer.
I need to get my flight suit back. And he gets it back, and he flies, and he kills Shockwave's worm, Snake.
Which I thought it could have been more epic, the battle.
Yeah, he flies through, he shoots it in the face, and it dies.
I mean, it was 7-8 seconds of battle, and he wins.
No. Whoa, but get this. He's flying around. He's doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
He gets trapped in some cables from a crane. Where the hell the crane came from, I don't know. But he gets trapped. He's a sitting duck. There's flying ships all over the place.
He does this awesome maneuver, taking out the giant worm that's taking buildings out.
Yeah.
And then he lands on this crane, and Shockwave standing on the ground. It's like, boom.
Yeah, and
knocks him off, and he winds up in all these cables. I was like, you just did this awesome maneuver and took out.
You couldn't dodge 4 Sidewinder missiles.
And you were talking about this. He gets tangled up in there, and then the what were the two of them called? The NASCAR ones.
Scott bots, Sideswipe and.
No, they were called something though. They called the duo something. I don't remember. But
they were Chevy.
They show up.
They were Chevy Aveos in the last
we'll
one.
get you down.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to humans running around
all over the place, and they're doing their thing. And 30 minutes later,
literally 30 minutes later, watching the movie.
He gets cut down. He lands on the ground. I need no strings to hold me up, to pull me down. Yeah, Pinocchio bot over here, and
yeah, but he's been hanging there for 30 minutes. Literally, it's 30 minutes in the movie, maybe 20, because that last battle scene, that climax, is an hour long.
yeah,
It really is, and he is really stuck up there for about that long. And you said it best. It's like, why didn't they shoot him?
He was a sitting duck. I realized they went down there and they distracted Shockwave.
But there's what? Hundreds?
There's
of
hundreds of
flying
flying
around.
Decepticons
There's ships
flying
all
around. And
what a pansy way to get Prime out of the picture.
yeah,
Tangle him up in cables.
yeah.
I mean, because Prime, he would have... I mean, I know why they did it. Like, oh, wait, we made him too powerful. We got to take him out for a little while. Because he's just going to save the day instantly.
Yeah.
That's
whatever. You know, and I realize, you know, you can't sit there and film people walking down a flight of stairs. You've done so much more trying to get Sam a job. Why you can't just put a couple extra minutes in there showing them getting down? When Razorbeak gets shot up, you know, when Sam gets thrown off the building by a radio that transforms into Razorbeak and gets thrown off the building, lands on the ship with bumblebees flying.
Rip off the Back to the Future, too, by the way. What are you going to do, boy? Jump!
Points that we did like in the movie, that we didn't like in the movie, more specifically, the scene with
the taking turns screaming into the camera scene.
The drone that was the surveillance drone that crashed, and there's like, is that one of ours?
Yeah, there's this scene where I busted out laughing when I was watching this movie, because it's all intense and everything. It's after this big rescue scene with Sam rescuing his surprised duck-faced girlfriend.
I'll follow you anywhere.
I'll follow you anywhere. My daddy said to my mama, who's horny and thinks I have a big schlong. Anyway, after that epic scene and everything, it was pretty cool. Big rip-off of Back to the Future 2 again. They're down on the ground, and there's this drone that
they just happen to notice. Is that one of ours?
Yeah.
Shake, do something, turn your head, you know,
and
wiggle.
Tyrese, he runs over to it, and he's all like dusting off. He's looking into it. He's like, "Can you hear me? Rotate. Can you hear me? Rotate." And he repeats that like 5 times, and they cut to the control room, and they're hearing it, and they're like turning it up, and they see him. It was like, and the guy starts moving it, and it's like Tyrese's like, "All right, they can hear us," and it's like he's about to talk, and then Shia's just like moves him out of the way, and he's all like, "It's ground zero! It's ground zero! Do you understand? Do you understand? This is ground zero!"
As if they didn't already know that. I mean, they were already trying to get fucking...
It's my turn! It's ground zero! I'm the girlfriend now, and I'm pushing him out of the way! Do you understand?
Wonder if it's on. I think it's on. Is it moving? Can you move? Make it move. All right, it's on, it's on.
Do you understand? There's no such thing as robot heaven. Do you understand me?
They're gonna bring down Cybertron. They're gonna bring it down on a blue bag. It's a Dorito.
No such thing! There's a robot hell? I don't understand it, but there's a robot hell!
Chicago's ground zero. Do you understand? Can you hear us?
It's inside a blue bag with a whole bunch of other Doritos. I don't know which one it is, but you gotta bring it down. I think the only way to destroy it is to eat it. You gotta eat the Dorito. They're gonna bring down Cybertron if you don't eat the Dorito.
What happened to the handicapped dog that was helping the other dog? Where did they go? Did they die?
Please listen. Center Prime is here, and he has the pillows, and he's touching kids. We're on the top of the building on the Chicago River over high shot security investments. I think.
Hello? You gotta destroy the pillars. You gotta shoot down the pillars. Or they're gonna transport Cybertron here. Do you understand?
Get the hell out of my lawn! You're leaving big robot footprints in my lawn! What the hell? Yo, system is down. Yo, system.
Eat the Dorito!
Do you understand? Can you hear me? Do you understand? You understand? Can you hear me?
Megatron!
What the?
Was that really necessary?
Where was I going with that?
When you're talking about
Yeah, no. The bad guy, Can't Buy Me Love, extra mushrooms guy.
yeah.
Like the next scene, it wasn't even just like a little bit. It was just like the next scene, he's already down there in a flash. Like it didn't. You know,
Oh yeah,
it
he's
just-
running.
They didn't even give enough time.
They
They didn't even give enough time in between scenes
He's
to like oh well maybe he just,
down. He's
Maybe he-
3 blocks up the street, running full speed,
yeah.
screaming, "The Autobots are alive!" And yet, Megatron and Nimoy Prime are on top of a skyscraper, and they can hear him.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh crap!
Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody shoot
Decepticons!
Optimus.
Protect the pillars!"
Yeah.
Which they don't do a good job of.
They really don't. I mean,
And they spend like
no. That's when the Tomahawk cruise missiles came into play. The cruiser missiles.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
they were talking about. What was it? That scene where they would protect the pillars and Optimus was already fighting Nimoy Prime, and Nimoy tells everybody, F the pillars, kill this guy before he kills me, and all these Tomahawk missiles come and shoot everybody down, and of course Beavis and
Yeah.
Butthead jump in a.
oh yeah, they take out the main command ship.
Yeah,
Robots this tall. They're just in there like, oh,
Battle,
yeah.
Battle
oh.
Los Angeles. Take down the satellite and all the rest fall. They're all remote controlled.
Yeah, and they,
I did not enjoy watching Ironhide get blasted like a punk. And he didn't.
spoiler alert, one of the few, Ironhide gets taken out like a punk.
He gets turned into rust, and I'm not gonna spill a drink for him, but
Yeah, I mean,
here's to you, Ironhide.
he went out
He
better
went
than
out.
Jazz.
Jazz went out fighting, and
Yeah, he was like-
Ironhide wasn't necessarily a punk. He did the Mexican standoff, which is great. Everybody mentions the Mexican standoff. And
How do they
I
know
don't
about
think-
Mexicans?
I don't think it was
Wait.
Ironhide that said it. I think it was the
It was Sideswipe that said it.
Sideswipe that
Looks
said
like
it.
we
There
got a
you go.
Mexican standoff.
Nice.
I've heard a lot of people say, it was like, how do they know about a Mexican standoff? Well, they've been on Earth for like 6 years.
They've been there for a minute.
Surely they've seen.
Some Mexicans, surely they've been to Mexico.
I've seen a couple of westerns. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, but then Ironhide turns around, and of course that's the big scene where Sentinel turns into a bad guy and says, I'm gonna.
I had to make a
enslave-
deal.
Yeah, I had to, I had an offer I couldn't refuse, and bow, shoots him in the back of his brain pan and shoots him in his heart, and then he just turns into ash, and that sucked. But
Yeah.
if that would have happened to Bumblebee, that would have been great. And I don't mean that like being morbid or anything, but that would
No,
have
it would
really
have been emotional.
It would have
But-
brought a tear.
There's a scene, and this is not going to spoil anything when you see the scene, because they're not going to do it. But they filmed it where basically they take Autobots. They got like 3 of them, and they decided to take no prisoners, and they're going to execute them. Well, they execute one of them that we barely get to know and don't really care about. They execute
Which
Doc
also
Brown.
looks like Steve Buscemi.
No, he looked like Doc Brown. With fiber optic.
He looked like Doc Brown.
Christopher Lloyd.
Nice.
But they got Bumblebee on his knees, and Soundwave has just got his gun right there, and the way they filmed it, and the music, and Sam is trying to rescue him, but he can't do it.
With the gun, and it fizzles, and
it goes out. He realizes there's nothing he can do, and his girlfriend realizes how bad he's hurting, and Bumblebee, you see emotion actually in his face. But you know they're not going to do it, and you see it coming that they're not going to do it. But
if it would have happened, that would have changed the whole movie. People would have probably hated the movie. Bumblebee should have never been. But that would have been like your heart would have exploded.
Yeah,
and
I mean
tears
that would be,
and,
it'd be up there with My Girl.
Yeah.
Screw Macaulay. Bumblebee.
When Twilight Girl couldn't make up her mind between the wolves and the vampires, that would have been right up. That would have been right up there, Jesus.
You haven't seen my last review. Oh wait, you have.
Yes, but I mean, what else is there to hate about this movie? There's a lot, but I mean, there's nothing really. I mean, it just
Needs of the Many is plenty for me to hate it.
Yeah, man. Star Trek, Nimoy Prime.
I mean, most of you people out there would be like, geek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purists are purists, no matter what shape or form. And there was a lot of things I liked about the movie. There were some damn good, entertaining, parts of the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
like I said, I still think anytime I see someone cruising down the road, down the highway, and cars are exploding, it brings back memories of The Island. The Island was a great movie, I thought, and in my opinion, it was a great movie. That was a cool scene when Bumblebee turned into half a robot and was shooting cannons and all these. I'll get to here in a minute. When he transforms to dodge something or other, a missile, a bot, a car, a Pinto, whatever it was, and Sam's flying through the air, flying out of his butt, just behind. He's leaving a trail. He looks like a human kite. And Bumblebee catches him, shoves him up his butt, turns back into a robot. Don't ever do that again! You scared the hell out of me,
Like a little girl up on a stool.
That was awesome. That was creative. That was awesome. I'd
one thing about
watch that again. That was
Shy. He can scream like a girl really good.
He can, and why? In the first and second, there was always a sound off. Throne Crusher, Starscream reporting for duty. Steve Buscemi bot all up in the house. All this cool stuff was going on. Even Barricade in the first one, to sever and ass rape, when it should say protect and serve on the side. And there was the obvious, little the Decepticon symbol somewhere on the car. I mean, there was none of that in this movie. You didn't know who was bad.
You could
really
not
just
tell. There was a scene where Sam is fighting a Decepticon, and it took me a minute to realize it was Starscream.
Yeah.
Until, I mean, they could have fixed it really easily. If he had just been like
a little bug, you little bug.
Yeah, I mean, I would have wrote it where he's like, Starscream's after me, you gotta get away, when he's saying it to his girlfriend. But he doesn't say anything like that. That would have told.
Yeah.
But they all look alike.
They do. All the... Why does...
Their eyes are red.
Why does a diesel, a red and blue diesel with flames on it, turn into a armored? Obviously, used to be a diesel, but now is a robot. Turn into that. Why does Bumblebee turn into a Camaro, and all of a sudden he's still got? Why do these? What were they? Suburbans? Those police.
Yeah, they were silver after they transformed.
They were
black.
They had nothing to do with what they used to be.
They were black Suburbans.
They
and they
were
just turned
one
to
was a
silver.
One was a tiger. The two other were bots, and even the red Ferrari turned into like the Guyver with the big old things coming out of his shoulders, and his elbows, and Decepticons were such Megatron.
Even Megatron, he was a brown rusty truck.
Yeah, and he turned into a big round rusty piece of crap, picking lice out of his brain.
Well, he was silver though. He wasn't even the color of the truck.
Yeah. Decepticons don't have to play.
They
by
need
the
a
rules.
color code.
They're evil. They're bad.
Color code.
Bad robots. They don't need to play by the rules.
Put some numbers on them so I can paint them.
I don't need to look like what I used to look like when I was a car or a trash can truck or whatever the hell I was. And when they were on the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and
the glass building that's broke like that, and they decided it's a good idea to run up to the top of it, shoot rockets out of.
The laws of physics don't apply, and I get it. It's entertainment. Everything that the humans fight, every Deceptibot has got sharp stuff all over them. Why they have to sit there and shoot instead of just run up and give them a big hug? You're dead because I'm so sharp and rusty and you got tetanus and you.
I know the shockwave with this worm. He's got blades spinning all around him,
and it
never hurts anybody.
It never killed one person.
There's soldiers rolling around and stuff, and it's not like it'd be too graphic because they got Decepticons walking through the streets blowing people up.
Yeah,
and they Transformers have blood now suddenly.
Yeah. Mars Attacks. I mean, they were out there, and they were just turning into green bones.
But yeah, Transformers, blood coming out.
Yeah,
coming
they
out
had
blood coming out
and
their necks.
Transmission fluid, and
I was like,
they were drooling all kinds of crud.
I was like, man, now they're ripping off Short Circuit 2 when they attacked Johnny 5.
No, disassemble.
No, stop, please, not just machine. Not disassemble. I'm alive.
That was a better movie about robots.
Were we talking about stuff we liked about the movie?
Oh, is there? Yes, there is. There's good stuff. I mean, but honestly, the last hour of this movie is awesome. It is what they should have done in the last two.
A lot of stuff was entertaining, but pointless.
A lot of filler. They, one thing I thought about when I was watching it, though, was I couldn't stand Sam and stuff in this movie, but the first one, he made more sense. In high school, teenager, not being mature and everything.
Yeah.
If they could have taken the human character story from the first one and put it with the robot action of this third one, that would be the greatest Transformer movie.
Yeah. Instead of all this whiny baby Anakin Skywalker, I wish I had a job and I saved your life. You just don't know it. I can't tell you about it and all this.
I saved your life twice. I can't tell you how. But I saved it. What?
Give me a job. I need a job.
In the mailroom? No, I don't want to.
How did you like Soundwave? Tell me about Soundwave.
You're asking me because it was my favorite Decepticon.
Tell me a little bit about Soundwave.
About Soundwave, yeah. I know we talked about how they screwed him up in the second one. He was a satellite just hanging out in space.
He's like the ultimate spy bot,
But in this one, in Africa, when you first see Megatron, Soundwave shows up. Ice Cube. Soundwave shows up, and they announced that he's Soundwave, and he's got speakers on him.
Yeah.
I was like, sweet, he's not a satellite this time. Because in the cartoon, he turned into a boombox. And what was cool about it was he was a tape deck, and the tape deck opened, and Razorbeak came out as a cassette tape and transformed
into a pterodactyl.
And so Razorbeak is sitting on his arm or something. Yeah, and
so
you see
they had
speakers
a
everywhere
little bit of continuity there.
But he's nothing to do with anything. He's a Mercedes.
and he
a
was
silver one too.
he was a gift to
Surprise duck face.
Surprise duck face. And she didn't even come out and say like, "Oh, my boss gave me a car and it's got a great sound system."
That would have made it better if it had JBL speakers and all that stuff.
Some Rockford
She
Fosgates
pulls
or
up
something.
with a boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who'd have known this great car came with such a great system?
Gone over a little better with me, but
and like I was saying, like there was no like hints whatsoever. I guess because he's such a great spy. There was no little Decepticon. There was not even something that they didn't even notice, but the audience could see, like, Mercedes AMG ass monkey grabber or some, weird something or other, And AR class or ass rape or something. There was nothing evil whatsoever about the car that should have been there, like, barricade in the first one.
I could be wrong, but I don't remember when you first see him. You see Soundwave the first time in robot form.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing a Mercedes symbol right in the middle of his chest.
I
where
think
the rest of the movie,
you're right.
In the rest of the movie, he has it right there.
Yeah.
But the first time you see him, they don't have it there.
No.
So it's... oh no, our audience might be too smart. They might figure it out.
But,
people applauded this movie. They won't figure it out.
And maybe
it's not It's not a bad... It's not a horrible movie.
Maybe they checked their brain at the door thoroughly like I did. I didn't even know that was Leonard Nimoy in the damn movie. That's pretty damn
I knew
sad.
I forgot to. I forgot to check it. But I was going in... The only reason I saw this movie is to do this.
Yeah.
That's it.
and it was.
It's for all of you. That's why I suffered. But, surprisingly, I thought it was better than I expected.
Yeah. It had its moments. There was like, oh, that's really cool. And there was like, what the... Exactly. And just different movie references, Back to the Future, Matrix, The Island, Rescuers Down Under. It's a summer blockbuster movie. Go watch it. It's good. If you haven't already seen it, by the time you see this review, it might already be out of theaters. Buy the DVD, get the Blu-rays, spend the extra $10. Why not? Life is good, regardless. What do you do? I want to say, let's talk about that right there. Top 10 cars.
We were talking about this.
We were sitting here talking about this. We were talking about the top 10 cars, but besides GM,
because that's all that's in there.
That's all that there is, You get done watching Transformers, and if you haven't already bought a car from GM, greatest GM commercials ever. Here goes Mr. James and Frank's top 10 cars that should be
a Transformer.
And be put in these movies or not, whatever. They should have their own spin-offs. No particular... You want to do a particular order?
Nah, just read it off.
Okay. I think my first pick was Herbie. Herbie the Love Bug should be a Transformer. He should just it should be something like a catchy jaunty, that when he transformed...
Even though Bumblebee was a bug in the cartoon. Herbie the Love Bug.
He should be the gayest.
I think he would represent the gay demographic very well.
Yeah, he should be, in there, have a little rainbow sticker on the back windshield, and he should be just come up and just transform.
Got an extra large exhaust in the back.
Yeah. The A-Team van. Cha-ching. Yeah. That one should just transform. I pity the fool. I love it when a plan come together.
His red spoiler will rotate and be a mohawk.
Bunch of chains all over the damn place. I pity the fool. Yes. A big fat stogie. You know, his face should like
love it
rotate.
when a plan comes.
His face, even though everything stays the same, his face should change. You know, for faces. You know, for the face or whatever the hell his name is. That was 2. Let's do number 3. Kit. Knight Rider. Kit should just dun 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 dun. He just showed up. Man.
Yeah, he would be all
should have
proper.
his British voice, you know.
He'd be all the straight-laced car. He wouldn't have a mouth that moves like the other movies. They'd be the lights.
The lights.
Johnny Five again. It's
a limited amount of turbo boost to get away. Peace out, bitches. My favorite. Let me get rid of this side. My favorite. I'll let you read it.
Ice cubes, lime green,
64 Impala. From the videos he always used to drive, you know, the hydraulics. That would be the most gangster transformer ever. Ice cubes, boat flake, lime green, Dayton spinning. You know, he should just come out with the gun. He just transform with the gun sideways. It's a kill shot.
He don't have a hand. It's a gun for his hand.
And a 40 is the other hand. You know,
his gas tank transforms into his hand.
Ice Cube represent the gangster.
He'd have one of the little robots that tags along with him.
Yeah.
That would be Chris Tucker.
There you
voicing
go.
him.
Oh, man. Don't do me. What else?
I gotta take a shit.
Lightning McQueen. He should definitely be a transformer. He should just come up and like talk about wanting to win a race or something.
He'd be Shia's best friend, Sam. They both be like, oh,
they're both douchebags. And they both learn a valuable lesson at the end of the movie. We should have done Lightning McQueen. We should have done Mater. The most retarded robot ever. The most backwoods redneck.
But he'd be voiced by Larry the Cable Guy, and I could not take that.
Get her in. He couldn't do it.
That's funny right there.
The General.
General Lee from
General Lee.
Dukes of Hazzard.
That would be, you know, in every scene he'd be doing, he'd be jumping something, and then they should stop and talk about, well, you boys better grow some wings or start flapping their arms. You know, Daisy Duke should show up.
Confederate flag would be on his chest, and Tyrese Gibson would be looking at him all funny. He'd be like, oh wait, you're the Michael Bay stereotype in this movie, aren't you? Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Mike Epps and General Lee should have a scene together where they just, you know, racial equality and
General Lee would be looking like, you want some chicken? It's a Michael Bay film, you know they say it.
Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, come on. The Tron light cycle. It should definitely be a transformer.
His name would be Rave.
His name would be Rave. Because he's all lit up and he should have the, like, his weapon. He don't even have weapons. He's got light sticks on strings. Everywhere he walks, he's got a wall of light behind him, and nobody can go, hey, get the fuck out of, what are you doing? Get the Tron light cycle bot. Rave. There we go. What about, oh, come on. Now, see, I think it's a toss-up between the Beverly Hillbillies Clampett Mobile with this old lady. He should have like a compartment and the old lady pop out and start whooping ass. You know, he didn't even got to do anything.
She's got her Mountain Dew Tennessee whiskey.
It's a toss-up between that and the Monsters Dragula. You know, that'd be a, you know, and that of course would be the voice of Rob Zombie. You know, that'd be badass. You know. That was probably one of the first ones there.
But would it might look too much like Megatron in the movie. Rusted down.
Oh, rusted down little Bugs flying all. I'm itchy.
He's been hanging out with Ellie Mae too much.
And the DMC himself, the DeLorean from Back to the Future. Not the first one, but Mr. Fusion version, I think.
Mr. Fusion?
Yeah, remember in the last...
The third one?
The third one, where it's
With
Mr.
the
Fusion
big
with the
white wheels?
Yeah.
And
Yes. The Mr. Fusion where he's got to like open up his head and put a banana peel and some coffee grounds. And,
oh, that one, yeah.
rim! My flux capacitor all right there. Hell yeah.
Or maybe it's his mouth or something.
Yeah. And then every time something goes bad for
Actually, it's in the shape of a vagina, so it could be a girl.
Oh, snap. Oh, yeah. See,
Flux
there you
capacitor,
go.
you know?
The flux capacitor for the robots could be the...
He'd be buzzing that thing like crazy.
Already. See, and then, you know...
And if for fuel injectors down there, it should be a squirter.
Bumblebee, stop lubricating the man.
Get that thing to stop, huh?
And then she could go back in time and save the day, you know?
It'd be voiced by ZZ Top. With high pitch.
Yeah, I don't even know where you're going with that one. ZZ Top, whatever. Shut up.
Squirter.
Motor oil flying over the place.
Oh,
the transmission oil, like the transmission oil money shot. Yeah, there needs to be a Transformer porn out there.
I can only imagine how my Photoshop pictures are going to turn.
A bunch of clanking.
Ching, ching, ching. That's
squirt.
Squirt, squirt.
So there you go.
That's Optimus Prime.
Transformers Part 3. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you've already seen it, you probably agree with a lot of what we kind of said.
I hope we didn't spoil too much for you. But there's nothing to spoil.
It's
If you like the first two, you will love this one.
Undo the hinges, pop open the hood, take it out, put it in a nice little Tupperware, leave it at the front desk, or take it with you. Just don't go in there thinking too much. Like I said, it's not a big, great movie. It's an action blockbuster. Definitely entertaining. A little bit of pain in the butt. Get your popcorn. Enjoy yourself. And try not to explode.
In the first 90 minutes, whenever you hear part of the soundtrack that involves a song, that's when you go pee, because you're not going to miss anything.
Yeah, and also ran.
There was no robot heaven in this one. I would watch this one again. I would not go to the theater. We've already seen it twice. I don't need to see it again.
No, I don't need it on. I don't need it.
We
on
watched
Blu-ray.
it twice just so that we could get everything.
I don't need it on Blu-ray, and
I don't own any of the other two. But
if you're a fan, then nothing we're saying. We're not trying to persuade you or
we're
change your
entertaining
mind.
you.
We're knuckleheads, and this is our take, and you probably agree with some of it, whether you like the movie or not.
Yeah, so if you like the first one, you like the second one, go see this one. You will have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It is a lot of fun to watch. I had fun in it. There's just a lot of crap that
wasn't fun.
Yeah. You just got to get through the crap to get to the good part.
Yeah.
So, on that note, me and Frank are going to go, and we'll probably see you again soon. All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Will you leave me alone already?